I just saw the trailer for A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, and the theme looks good. It looks like a theme from Westeros in the Game of Thrones universe. It focuses on Sir Duncan the Tall. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know what the story is, how relevant this is to the overall story of the Game of Thrones universe. I've heard the name before, but I don't really remember what he was about. But yeah, this story, well, I don't know how well this series is actually gonna go. Just because of the fact that I don't think this series is gonna be focusing on the Targaryens. Now, there was a Targaryen shown in the trailer, but I don't feel like he's a Targaryen that we're gonna like or we're gonna support. I feel like he's probably not gonna be a nice guy or anything, and it's gonna focus on Sir Duncan the Tall. And that's a problem because, well, we're kind of used to focusing on the Targaryens when we hear something about the Game of Thrones universe. And that's what we want to see and want to watch. And I'm sure there are a lot of hardcore fans of the books who want to see the Sir Duncan the Tall series. But for the average person, I'm not so sure because most people just know about these books from what they've seen in the series. The Game of Thrones series, the House of the Dragon series. And because of that, if the Targaryens are the main focus, I'm not sure it's going to be that interesting to most people, and that's a problem. Now, it would have been one thing if this was the only Game of Thrones related series that was available, then even the fans of those series would watch it just because it's the only option. But that's not the case. I mean, House of the Dragon series is ongoing. We're past the second season, and I'm assuming there's going to be 2 more seasons. So it's going to be around for a while. And then there's already a lot of rumors about Aegon the Conqueror series that was going to be coming. And that's really exciting. And because of that, I don't know if people are going to be that invested in watching this series. Unless it's somehow hugely connected to the main plot of some of the other, either Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon. Because from what I know, this series is taking place 100 years before Game of Thrones. I think that's what I saw in the trailer. In that case, so it's about somewhere in the middle between the Targaryen Civil War and the Game of Thrones series starting. So that means that there are going to be no dragons in this. That's a big problem. I mean, sure, in the Game of Thrones, we didn't see the dragons that much, but that was the first time you got introduced to this whole thing, and it was so well done and so exciting. We didn't mind not seeing the dragons all the time. But after House of the Dragon, I mean, when House of the Dragon was announced, everyone's so excited, and it was mostly because of all the dragons, and we want to see those dragons. And this series not having dragons, that's a big problem too. If this series has some dragons, then sure, people would have watched it for the dragons itself, but without it, it might be a problem. And even if the Targaryens were the main characters or the main people that were focused on the series, it would have been great still. But I don't think that's going to be the case, and that's a problem. I think people, when they think about the Game of Thrones universe, they want to see the Targaryens, then the Targaryen dragons. These are the 2 things that people want to see, and the Targaryens in this, I don't think people are going to be that interested, and there are no dragons, so it is what it is. Now, maybe there's some other big stuff going on, and yeah, I have no clue. And honestly, I know a lot of the major stories that goes on in the Game of Thrones universe. I mean, we all saw Game of Thrones. I know the story of House of the Dragon. I know the story of the Aegon's conquest. I even know a lot about the Blackfire Rebellions. I mean, the Blackfire Rebellion series, that would have been good because that was a civil war of sorts too. And it was really complicated, and it focused on the Targaryens. The main characters were the Targaryens, so a series about that would really work. But I'm guessing that they're probably saving that for a little later because, I mean, I think the Blackfire Rebellion start. I don't know what the time gap is, but it comes after House of the Dragon, the Targaryen Civil War. So I guess they're trying to space things out. But yeah, this series, I am a bit skeptical about how successful it will be. But I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, considering how great the Game of Thrones series was up until the books ended. This could also end up being a fantastic series, so let's wait and see. It could be a grounded, huge series. But yeah, I'm interested in see what's happening, and I'll probably end up watching the series when it comes out, even though I'm not that excited about watching it. So yeah, that's what I think about the trailer.